Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Army Showcase. The Army Showcase looks at different armies from different games. In today's video, we will look at an army from Phil Barker's Bellis Antiquitatis. This is DBA 3, Book 1, Army 64A, Early Japanese Yayoi Culture, 500 BC to 274 AD. Now, who were the Yayoi? The Yayoi were people associated with the Yayoi culture that developed in the Japanese archipelago between approximately 300 BC and 300 AD. This culture emerged following migrations from the Asian mainland, with most migrants likely arriving via the Korean peninsula. Archaeological, linguistic, and genetic evidence also suggests that some of their ancestral roots may ultimately have extended to populations living around the lower Yangtze River in China. The name Yayoi comes from the Yayoi district of modern Tokyo, where pottery characteristics of this culture were first discovered in 1884. The people of the Japanese archipelago during this period were referred to as the Wa or Wajin in contemporary Chinese records, although it is uncertain whether they used this name to describe themselves. The newcomers gradually assimilated with the indigenous Jomon population who had inhabited the islands for thousands of years. Most genetic studies indicate that the Yayoi did not replace the Jomon, but rather mixed extensively with them, contributing significantly to the formation of the modern Japanese people. The Wa were not a unified people, but instead consisted of numerous tribal communities and small states scattered throughout the archipelago. These polities frequently competed and fought with one another. Chinese sources record that around 30 states maintained contact with the Chinese courts, and several diplomatic exchanges were preserved in official Chinese histories. The Yayoi introduced and developed bronze and iron technologies, wove hemp textiles, and lived in village communities consisting of raised floor granaries and thatched roof dwellings. Wet rice agriculture, introduced from the mainland, transformed society and the economy. The resulting increase in food production supported substantial population growth and encouraged the development of increasingly complex social and political structures. By the late 2nd century AD, Yamatai Koku emerged as a dominant power among many of the Wa states. According to Chinese records, it was ruled by a shaman queen called Himiko, who gained authority following a period of conflict among the various tribes. Chinese accounts describe her as a spiritual leader who rarely appeared in public and whose younger brother assisted in the administration of state affairs, but his name was not recorded. Now, not all Wa states fell under Yamatai's influence. Chinese sources mention a rival polity known as Kuna, which appears to have maintained an antagonistic relationship with Yamatai. The location of Yamatai Koku remains one of the great debates in early Japanese history. The two principal theories place it either in the northern Kyushu or in the Kinai region of central Honshu, near modern Nara. Despite more than a century of research, no scholarly consensus has yet emerged. Himiko established diplomatic relations with the Chinese kingdom of Wei during the Three Kingdoms period. In AD 239, she received envoys from Wei and was granted the title Queen of Wa, friendly to Wei. Chinese records also note a tradition that the Wa were descended from Taibo of Wu, a legendary figure associated with the ancient Wu kingdom in the Yangtze region. Most historians regard this claim as a political or legendary tradition rather than a literal genealogy. Following Himiko's death in AD 248, a male ruler was placed on the throne, but their country soon descended into renewed unrest. Stability was eventually restored when a young female ruler named Io, said to be Himiko's niece, was elevated to the throne at approximately 13 years of age. Now, after her reign, references to Yamatai became sparse and the polity largely disappeared from the historical record. The Yayoi period was followed by the Kofun period, during which increasingly powerful regional rulers constructed a massive keyhole-shaped burial mound that gave the era its name. In DBA 3.0, these later developments were represented by armies 164B, the Yamatai Japanese, and 164C, Early Kofun Japanese. Now, the miniatures you will see in the showcase are from the Khurasan Miniatures. I've been wanting to feature some Khurasan miniatures, so when SL came by with his army, I was excited. In case it was not obvious, these miniatures are painted by SL. These miniatures are 15mm in scale. SL tells me that he's always wanted to get some Khurasan miniatures. When the exchange rate allowed it, he went to the Khurasan site, browsed the catalog, and made a purchase. Khurasan usually sells their 15mm miniatures in packs of either 6, 12, or 16. SL does not like miniature wastage, so he prefers to maximize his purchase. Some packs of 16 only had 3 figures that he wanted for his army list. So when he happened upon the Yayoi, he realized they came in packs of 6 and 12, so there's a great opportunity to maximize the miniatures, which is interesting. The command pack comes with some great figures representing Queen Himiko and her attendants that can be made into camps, and contains 4 generals, which, was nice that he could use it for the 4 different general elements in this army. More on that when we get to the army list breakdown. The miniatures, he says, are comparable to Essex in size. He was not very fond of the spearheads as they seemed large for the scale. He could have trimmed down, he says, but alas, laziness. The heads also felt smaller because, perhaps it was because he was more used to the Essex range. Right, so let's have a look at the DBA army list. This army is quite unique with 4 generals for the player to choose. You get 1 3-bow as your general, 1 4-bow as your general, 1 4-blade as your general, 1 4-auxiliar as your general. You get 3 4-blade, 3 4-auxiliar, 5 3-bow, or 5 Siloy. Now, I was so happy to see that there was a camp that came with this army, and it comes with 4 parts. So let's assemble this really quick. The camp is built on a 40 by 80 base with 3 elements. The Queen Himiko part of the base is based on a 40 by 40 base with Queen Himiko and her 3 attendants. The back of the queen is a byobu. A byobu is a Japanese wall divider, and this one is made out of paper. The second part is a tori, or a Japanese gate entrance, which looks scratch built. The final part is the bodyguard part with 4 figures, 2 with banners and 2 with spears and shields, and I really like the decal work on the shields and the banners. Now, this can be arranged in a few configurations, which I think is a very, very nice idea. So, let's have a look at the miniatures. Now, SL's work is constantly good and up to his standards, and this army is no different. Definitely a good army to showcase for some nice eye candy. So that's pretty much it. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you would like to support further, we do have a Buy Me a Coffee to help me get more equipment to make better looking videos. And finally, don't forget to enjoy painting those figures.